Viktor Orban, who has ruled Hungary as prime minister for 20 years and evolved the politics in Hungary into authoritarian rule, has been defeated in last week's national election. I'm Jessica Rolla. Welcome to The Pulse.
And I'm Effie Barker. Welcome to this week's edition.
The majority party of Viktor Orban that made him prime minister for 20 years has finally been crushed. The opposition party took 88% of the parliament seats away from Orban's party. Hungarians in exit polls, they said, are fed up with Viktor Orban bowing to the dictates of Russia's Vladimir Putin and his embrace of Donald Trump's policies that affected the world. The challenger to Orban, a 45-year-old former official in Orban's party, Peter Magyar, switched to the progressive side and appealed to the people, becoming the favorite in Hungary's election. The European Union and NATO considered the win welcome news for the EU and NATO moving forward, as it was always Hungary that vetoed almost every move to help Ukraine defend itself against Russia. Hungarian foreign policy is now expected to focus on strengthening the EU and NATO after a period that frustrated Poland during the 3 years of the war in Ukraine. During that time, Hungary was often seen as obstructing efforts to counter Russia's expansionism, particularly regarding Ukraine. Poland, which has one of Eastern Europe's strongest militaries, is likely to become more involved in supporting Ukraine's defense. Poland has historically been determined to avoid invasions and occupations such as those it experienced during World War II. In contrast, Hungary was viewed as opposing Poland's push for greater military assistance to Ukraine.
In Southeast Asia, we often hear about geopolitical tensions between China and Taiwan. China seeks eventual reunification with Taiwan under Beijing's control, but there is less discussion about potential diplomatic engagement between the Chinese Communist Party and Taiwan's main opposition party, the Kuomintang, also known as the Nationalist Party, which is currently Taiwan's primary opposition force. Last week, Taiwan's opposition leader Tseng Le-woon, the chair of Taiwan's Kuomintang, took a trip to mainland China in what was dubbed as Journey of Peace trip, meeting with officials of the Communist Party, including Chinese President Xi Jinping. She said that her state visit was intended to show the world that Taiwan is not acting unilaterally in its desire for peace, and that many are eager to see the sincerity and determination of the Communist Party's Central Committee in using peaceful dialogue and exchange to resolve differences between the two sides. A brief history: since the establishment of the Republic of China in the early 20th century, the Chinese Nationalist Party, or Kuomintang, became the ruling party and led the government during the early Republican period. The party was founded by Sun Yat-sen, who is widely regarded as a founding father of modern China and remains a respected figure in Chinese history and politics to this day. China's nationalist forces fought Japan during the Second Sino-Japanese War and were significantly weakened by the early years of World War II. After the Chinese Civil War, the Communist Party under Mao Zedong took control of mainland China. The remaining nationalist forces, led by Chiang Kai-shek, retreated to Taiwan and established their government there. Over time, Taiwan developed into a highly industrialized and economically successful society. The island, located about 2 hours by flight from Manila, continues to operate as a self-governing political entity with its own institutions. The establishment of diplomatic relations between the United States and the People's Republic of China in 1979 led the U.S. to formally recognize Beijing under the One China policy. As a result, the United States severed official diplomatic relations with Taiwan and closed its embassy in Washington, replacing it with unofficial representative offices. Taiwan continued to operate as a self-governing entity, but increasingly used the name Taiwan in its international context.
Representative Eric Swalwell, a member of Congress from California, was recently the subject of controversy involving allegations of sexual impropriety. He later stepped back from public attention and withdrew from consideration for a potential run for governor of California. Eric Swalwell, speaking in public, announced his resignation from Congress, ending his campaign for California governor. He also apologized publicly for what he described as previous error of judgment. But he also vowed to fight any accusations that were not true. Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez, who was also accused by victims of alleged sexual harassment by the lawmaker, has also resigned. However, he only did so after Eric Swalwell resigned first.
President Trump continued his attack last week on Pope Leo XIV after the Pope criticized Pete Hegseth praying for the troops for the Iran war. The Pope said that God listens to the prayer of the righteous, not those who want war. According to some media outlets, the Vatican's top diplomat was summoned to the Defense Department for that comment and was lectured by a defense official to not interfere, or else what happened to a different pope in history where the capital of the Holy Roman Empire was moved to Avignon, France by military interference could happen to him. Trump also described the Pope as one who is soft on crime. Maybe he loves crime. Trump's attacks on the Pope were not received well by the American Catholics who played a big part in his election in 2016 and 2024. A visible pushback on the pulpit by archbishops during their Sunday homily. We're going to commercial break. Please stay tuned for the interview of Dayton Vasquez, a candidate for Nevada State Assembly, when we come back.
We use headphones as a part of our everyday lives. Whether we're at work, getting exercise, meditating, in transit, studying, practicing, or relaxing.
Hi, I'm Ryan Sway, the founder of Aircom. I would like to introduce the world's first wireless airflow audio earbuds. As a festival and a concert junkie, I really enjoy the live experience of being there and feeling the music. When we started developing Airflow, our goal was to reproduce that live experience using earbuds.
The problem with traditional headphones is that the speakers are located inside of the earpiece, literally giving you centimeters before the audio hits your eardrum.
What Aircom is doing, they're the first company to actually address the fact that there needs to be a space involved associated with having the sound waves expand fully.
The difference between traditional headphones and Aircom audio is that the air tube gives you 8 times more space, allowing the sound waves to fully develop before they actually hit your eardrums. And this gives it a much more live, natural sound, just like in a recording studio.
It's real nice that someone actually addressed the physics associated with how sound comes out.
The challenge we had was to create an earbud with enough airspace for the sound to fully develop and breathe. Unfortunately, traditional earbuds are about the size of a jelly bean, and there's just not enough airspace. However, that changed when we developed Airflow Audio. Airflow uses an air tube to deliver 6 to 8 times more airspace than traditional earbuds. The end result is a true live listening experience, just like you're at a festival or a concert. We also added magnets to the back of the earpieces so you can wear it around your neck when you're not using it.
Being that the drivers are 8 inches from the earpiece, the magnets do not affect the integrity of the sound at all.
The orange line represents the frequency transmitting through the wire to the speaker, which then converts to the blue sound wave that develops more as it travels up the air tube, producing a balanced, full body and live listening experience.
Another really cool feature is that these earbuds are sweat-proof and water-resistant because they're coated with a super hydrophobic nanotechnology. So now you can be on a skateboard or riding a motorcycle and listen to music as if you were watching a live show or actually in a recording studio.
We're coming to you for help in bringing these unparalleled earbuds to market.
Don't waste your money on CBD. Now hold on. don't turn the video off. If you're already taking CBD, good for you. You're on a good path, but there's a much better way. If you're thinking, should I try CBD? Let me answer a couple of questions that might help you make the decision to even try a CBD product. First of all, let's answer the question, what is CBD and where does it come from? CBD is cannabidiol. It's called a cannabinoid, and it's found naturally in many different plants. In fact, as you see here in the Cannabicae family, there's hops, sandalwood, hackberry, of course, hemp, even marijuana, but we're not talking here about marijuana. In fact, we're going to be talking about hemp. As I started to mention, CBD can be found in hemp, in rather high levels, as a matter of fact. But here's the problem. CBD is not the only cannabinoid you can find in hemp. Hemp contains over 100 different cannabinoids. In fact, in the Cannabicae family, hemp contains the highest level of cannabinoids of any plant, which is why it's the most popular source for CBD. But as I mentioned, CBD is only one of the cannabinoids that you can find in hemp. Hemp contains high levels also of CBC, CBG, and CBN. So why would we want CBC, CBD, CBG, and CBN? Well, as we look at the benefits here from CBD alone, you can see these benefits are great. I mean, who wouldn't want these benefits, right? But let's look at the benefits you can get from CBC. You see, they compound with CBD and offer yet even more. But then let's also now look at CBG. CBG has even more benefits. So naturally, anybody looking for the maximum benefit you can derive from hemp would want CBC, CBG, and CBD. But don't stop there. CBN also has fantastic benefits. So if you're looking for a great hemp product and you're contemplating trying a CBD product, don't just buy CBD. And please, don't buy that cheap gas station grocery store stuff. It's just that, cheap, and it won't benefit you at all. But if you can get a high grade, medical grade in fact, hemp product that contains CBC, CBD, CBG, and CBN, now you are unleashing the full power of your body that can only happen if you have all four of these cannabinoids in your body. If you're taking CBD, you're getting roughly 1/4 of the benefit that hemp can give you. Well, fourth is better than nothing, I suppose, but when you want 100% of all the benefits that hemp can give you, that is what happens if you take CBD with CBC, CBG, and CBN. So now you're probably asking, well, where on earth do I get all four of those? The problem now is solved. CBX4 contains high levels, not trace levels, and this is very important, contains high levels of all four of these cannabinoids, which means every benefit we listed up until now is available to you naturally in CBX4 and only in CBX4.
Sa bawat sining, bawat galaw, kasaysayan ay ating tanaw. Sa habi ng ating pagkatao, kultura'y buhay at gintong regalo. Mamangato ng ating ninuno, sumisigaw sa hangin at puso't liway iisa, ang pamanay buhay na dakila. Isang kultura, isang bayan, sa pagkakaiba'y pagkaisang tangan. Sa Filipino town, Las Vegas, isang kultura, isang pamana. Pagbabago'y may gabay, ang ating kultura'y ilaw sa buhay. Habang may wika, awit at alaala, patuloy tayong may pagkakakilanlan. Isang kultura, isang diwa, nagbibigkis sa ating bansa. Sa puso't liway iisa, ang pamanay buhay na dakila. Isang kultura, isang bayan, sa pagkakaiba'y
Welcome back to The Pulse. With us now is Dayton Vasquez, who is running for Nevada's Assembly District 42. Dayton, welcome to The Pulse.
Thank you.
Before we go on to the questions, tell us a little about yourself, personal and professional background.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I appreciate the time you have for me today. My name is Dayton Vasquez, as you know. I'm running for Nevada State Assembly District 42. I was born and raised here in Vegas my entire life, Vegas local. I graduated from Nevada State University with a degree in criminal justice with a minor in pre-law from Nevada State University. I currently work in higher education still at Nevada State University. On the administrative side of things, I'm a union member. I'm part of the Nevada Faculty Alliance. They represent all academic and administrative faculty in the state.
Can you say that again? What was the alliance called?
Nevada Faculty Alliance.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so they represent all people in higher education.
Okay.
But it's been great. I'm running as a Democratic candidate in Nevada State at the Nevada State Assembly in District 42. It's been great. Yeah.
Perfect. And then, so where in the Las Vegas Valley is under the jurisdiction of Assembly District 42?
It's a weird district. It's a weird shape. It's one of the smaller districts here in Clark County.
Okay.
It's over, if you know where IKEA is, it's
Yeah.
basically in that
Yeah.
general area. It's east of Durango, west
Gotcha.
of Decatur, and then north of the 215. So it's over by IKEA. IKEA is in my district, so it's over by, if you know where IKEA is, it's in that
The
general
central
area.
region to me.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
a-
think. Yeah.
Spring Valley
The
is
way you're
what
describing
it's
it,
kind of
Spring
known
Valley.
as. Yeah, exactly.
With the primary elections, which is within what, 6 weeks?
Yes.
How's it going so far? How's
Bit-
the knocking doors?
Yeah. Yes, knocking doors. It's busy, very, very busy.
Mhm.
Singing in interviews, endorsement interviews,
Mhm.
knocking on doors. That's basically what I've been doing
Mhm.
since February, just knocking on as many doors as I get to, and sitting in endorsement meetings, talking to voters in the community, going to community events. Very busy, but
Mhm.
it's fun. It's really I'm really truly grateful for what I'm doing and talking to people, being a part of the community that I was born and raised in. It's amazing.
So Dayton, what are your concerns though with if you do, are you interacting with a lot of the people here
Mhm.
for District 42?
Yeah, a lot of people that I've talked to at the doors or at community events on the phones, what they're concerned about mostly is affordability and the job market as well. And that's what I'm kind of centering my platform on, is talking about affordability, how free economically we feel. A lot of people are upset with how expensive car insurance is, how expensive groceries are, gas especially. Last year, Vegas had a hard time with the job market. A lot of people lost their jobs. So something that I'm centering my campaign around is affordability, how we can make everyday goods be cheaper for the working person here in my district, but across the state. And also seeing what we can do on a policy level that protects a lot of the working people from being terminated or being fired so easily.
What do you think are, well, you mentioned it already earlier about the concerns of your District 42, and with the increase of, most of the commodities and the expenses and the lack of public transportation and the additional routes, and is there anything that the legislature can do with that?
There is very much a lack of public infrastructure here in the state. That's something I'm very passionate about, making sure we have more public investment within our transportation systems. Just last legislative session and the 2025 regular session, there was a study to see what we can do around public transportation in the state. I'm really looking forward to see those results of those studies, but I think what we can do further in a legislative level at the state is just have more public investments within our transport system. A very big topic is light rail, a very big topic here in Southern Nevada. I know a few candidates also are running on that idea. It's an amazing idea, a great idea. All it takes is for us as legislators to invest in light rail to make it happen. So I'm really excited to see what that study is going to look like, what results we're going to get out of that study. But also, if I'm at the legislature, I'm going to be passionate about bringing more funds into these kinds of projects for the people.
Right.
Yeah, and I think if you unite with some of our other candidates, we've had several with the county commissioners.
Yes, exactly.
The District F, they have brought upon the transportation problem and the light rail infrastructure of Nevada needing a lot of improvements.
Exactly.
And also, with that being said, you've spoken a lot about artificial intelligence and the data centers. They're becoming, from what I can tell, a problem in many local communities. So like here in Nevada, with the high consumption of electricity and our utilities and affecting Las Vegas residents, can you share with us and our viewers what it would be that we could be concerned of with those AI data centers coming to Nevada, how you feel about that, and feel free to expound on that.
Data centers are rapidly coming into the state at levels that we've never seen before.
Not just here, other states, I hear.
Exactly. Even in North Las Vegas, we've seen huge amounts of land being used for data centers specifically.
All the land.
The state gives out tax incentives and more other incentives, financial incentives to have them come here. It's also a very big problem. I mean, data centers, from the residents I've been talking to in my community, in my district, they're worried about data centers because they use up a lot of water in a state that really needs a lot of that water to be kept for ourselves.
For sure.
But also another issue that we've seen recently is how data centers use up a ton of electricity. And those data centers don't usually pay for the electricity themselves. They usually pay that burden onto working people as well. So that's something that's a very big issue with people in my district, but also the concern of AI stealing people's jobs and replacing workers in the workspace. That's also another portion that people are very worried about. We saw that a lot last year, where a lot of data centers were being used to use AI to replace working people because it was cheaper for companies and corporations to use. So that's I've been seeing a lot, and something that if I was be elected into the legislature, I'll be very passionate about, making sure that AI data centers are paying for their own electricity bills, not passing that on to us.
Right.
But also making sure we have protections in place so people can't be replaced by AI in their workspaces. If people want to be working, they should be working.
Exactly. Well, we're almost out of time, Dayton, for this edition. So why don't you just speak directly to the voters, and here's your pitch.
Well, thank you. And thank you all for watching. As you know, I'm running for Nevada State Assembly District 42 as a Democrat. I care about the people in this community very much. Like I said, I'm born and raised here, and I've seen the hardships of the people in my community go through, and how preventable it could have been if government actually had to step in, if legislators actually cared about the people and stepped in to prevent these kinds of hardships. And that's exactly what I'm doing in my campaign. I am here to speak for those who are too afraid to speak or cannot speak, and bring their stories, bring their hardships and their life experiences from our community into Carson City, into the legislature. We are all working people. We all have a right to say what should be going on into our government. Without us working people in our communities, there would be no Nevada, there wouldn't be a Vegas, there wouldn't be a Strip in the middle of the city. And so it's up to us to have that kind of representation in the legislature. And that's exactly what I'm fighting for. And so I really appreciate you having, and everyone here, to reach out, listen to my message. If anyone would like to be in contact with me, my website is DaytonForNevada.com. Please feel free to reach out.
That's
Thank
Dayton FOR or Dayton 4?
Spelled out, FOR, yes. I know a lot of people are
We'll
using
have
the
it
number
on.
4. But FOR, yes.
Thank you for clarifying that. And Dayton Vasquez, candidate for Nevada Assembly District 42. Thank you for joining Effie and I today at the Pulse News, and good luck on your race.
Thank you so much.
And to our viewers, I'm Jessica Rolla. Thank you for watching.
And I'm Effie Barker. Please join us again next week here at the Pulse, and God bless your week.